Welcome to the Collector Cave, and today we have a review of a figure that I have wanted for a long time. They re-released him, and he's already sold out. It is Mafex Wolverine, the brown and yellow suit, which is, if you've watched my channel and some other reviews, is my absolute favorite Wolverine. I grew up with this look in the 80s with Secret Wars. My Secret Wars Wolverine figure was the first Wolverine figure I ever had back in the mid 80s when it came out. And so I missed the boat when this thing first came around. And man, it's been a couple years, I think. This is number 138. Mafex is well past this right now, so it's definitely a couple years old. I can't find a date on this box for it, but regardless, I got him. I'm so happy I was able to get this thing. I love the packaging for all these X-Men, very comic accurate. You have like a Marvel comic logo up top here with Wolverine running, a 6-inch figure, so this is 1/12 scale. And a lot of these X-Men Mafex boxes all kind of match good. I've got a few other ones for Mafex as well. But yeah, look at, so it says Wolverine brown comic version, Metacon toy. Here's the bottom. It's ages 15 and up. It says not a toy. It's an adult collectible. Choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. So just be advised if you have small children. Some cool poses. One thing with Mafex is you can get some awesome poses. Better than typical like Mezco and even sometimes Marvel Legends. We will compare that later with my other brown suit Wolverines that I do have. But he comes with 3 head sculpts and they all look fantastic. He has the claws. You look at these dynamic posing. I do see a gap here. I'm surprised they use this for a promo shot. It's not very pleasing looking. I hope mine doesn't have a gap. But regardless, here we go. One with his cowl off, snicked. It's so good. I wish they came with these you could use to display, you know, like on like the stand or something. But anyway, here's the box. Let's get this thing opened and take a closer look. All right, and he comes with this certifying genuine product paperwork. You can go online and you can certify this product, so you can. It just another proof that it's not a bootleg, because there are a lot of bootlegs of these Mafex figures floating around in different places. And then he comes with the stand. I haven't opened it up. It's just the plastic stand, clear plastic, a flight rod, a couple posing arms, and then the U shape to go under the crotch for if he's in the air. It helps balance him better. Plus a posing rod. Some characters have effect pieces they can use that posing rod with. This one doesn't, but you can always use it for something. And then here is Wolverine, and everything he comes with. Not a whole lot. Again, this is an earlier release from Mafex, so I think they've started to give more effect pieces and hands with later releases. But man, this is really all I need. I'm just so happy to have this figure, this version of this figure. I know most people identify with the tiger stripe. I know that was the original look, and then of course 97, right? The 97 look is what most people are with. But I grew up before the 97 cartoon. I grew up in the 80s, so for me, man, this is my Wolverine, and I'm so happy to have him. But real quick, we can look at a couple accessories. And Mafex, when they give hands, they come on these little plastic pegs, which is kind of nice. You can kind of keep your hands together that way. Here's the claws, and we'll of course put these claws on. He doesn't come with them on in package, which is probably good to protect them during shipping. And then he has some grasping hands, which look really good as well, painted nice. And then he comes with the 2 fists. So he has a total of 6 hands. And then here's the head sculpt, which we will put on. But here's the Logan head sculpt, the screaming berserker-like. And that looks really good. The paint apps are done really well. You can see the tongue, the mouth, the teeth, the hair strands. It looks really good. And this is probably my favorite one. Kind of the smirk, like, hey bub, look. I see a little yellow paint bleed right on the corner there. We'll look at that closer in detail when the head is on the body. But overall, it's pretty good paint application. And there's the ball peg hole there. And then you also get the cowl. So when you have the Logan head, you can put like the cowls down. That goes over into his neck and just hangs on his back. And we'll show that as well. But here is the figure. And I have to say, man, like, actually, this is a good head sculpt, too. Kind of getting the light there. You can kind of see the paintwork a bit better. The white eyes are done pretty good. I love that the eyes are white. comic accuracy. And I got to give it to Mafex. They have done a great job with comic accurate figures, especially X-Men. I know they do a lot of DC stuff, Batman. As far as Marvel, it's been mostly X-Men, and Iron Man, and a couple others. I'm hoping they expand it. I know they have a Cap and Thor and stuff like that, but I'd love to see like Fantastic Four. Maybe that'll be in the works. But paint apps look pretty good. I didn't notice this part of the suit. Is that painted correct? Should that not be brown? Very interesting. I feel like that's a mistake. And you can see a gap here, which is a bit unfortunate. It's not very pleasant, but it is what it is. This side as well, you see the gap. Yeah, I feel like that was a missed paint app, unless that's how the suit is. But I'd have to look back in the comics. It's not something you look at normally, but yeah, overall, there's the belt. That's accurate, I believe. The boots are accurate. So yeah, man, this thing is really good. And let's go over articulation real quick, because the head and neck are both on ball joints. As you can see, he looks back really good. He looks down really good. Just an amazing range with these Mafex figures. And then, of course, the arms, shoulders go up 90, a little over. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which because of the muscles, that's all you're going to get, but it's still pretty good. And then ball hinge wrist pegs. And then there is butterfly joints, which for this figure is really needed because you can get him back now doing these poses with the claws, like he's running forward, or you can have him cross his arms as well. I just shot his hand off. Wow, look at that. The cave kept it in play, which is good. But yeah, you can get his arms to cross with these butterfly joints, which is great. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, the figure is cut up. You get with, ones that aren't clothed, like the Mezco ones like that are not like Mezco, you're going to see all these joints, which it's a give and take, right? So the torso leans forward really good and goes back really good. So he has an upper ball joint torso and also a waist torso. And so sometimes it's hard. The lower abdomen gets out of place and you have to play with it to get it to line up with the suit. But it's good. The legs do drop down. They don't really swivel. They swivel just a tad. There's no thigh cut. So that's a bit of a downer, but it's one less joint to see. So there's that. They go about, if you do it straight, less than 90 because the thighs are so thick. But if you kind of kick the leg out, you can get more than 90. And then double jointed knees. I always love the knee joints on Mafex figures. Oh, this one's not the prettiest. There's a big gap up here. Big, huge gap. So if you don't want that gap, you can only go about that far. Is that how it is for both of them? Yeah, it is. Again, this is an older figure, so it's a good chance that they've gotten better with articulation and gapping here. But all the joints are tight. I always like Mafex joints. They're buttery smooth. They hold. They're not loose. Ball hinge ankle. You get amazing rocker, and then toe articulation, which I'm never a big fan of, but there it is. So we're going to be able to get this guy in some cool poses. The first thing we're going to try to do is a hero pose, just because, not that Wolverine usually does a hero pose, a landing pose, but I want to see the range because, the shoulders drop down too, as you can see. Because if they can do a hero pose, it usually gives a good indicator of how well the articulation is. Let me try that real quick and let's see. All right, he can pretty much pull off the hero pose. It took me about 20 seconds to do this pose. It's not something you're going to see Wolverine do very often, but it's still something that he can do. Not as good as the Iron Man. That one pulls it off better, as it should, but this is still pretty cool. So there's that. Let's go ahead and change out the head sculpts. I haven't done it yet, so we'll try it on camera. Hopefully it's not too difficult. That pulled off real easy. Wow, real easy. So I guess that's a good sign. That went on real easy. Nice. No heating up that ball joint. So here is Wolverine with the smirking look. I think I actually like the straight face better, to be honest. But let me zoom in closer and take a look at the paint applications here. The nose isn't perfect, There's some black bleeding in. And yeah, there is some yellow in this corner here, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure why that happened. They must have painted the whole thing yellow first and then added the black and then the skin tone. Not terrible, but not as good as I was maybe hoping for a figure of this price point. We'll talk about price in a minute. But man, look at those muscles. He is ripped, as he should be. And he's got the hair on the arms. This is not sculpted. This is just painted on. So they didn't sculpt it, unlike the Marvel Legends, which is sculpted. And I think also Mezco's is sculpted. We'll take a look at that in a minute. You can see here where I say how the torso can get out of alignment. Oh, it comes off real easy. Again, that's what that looks like there. So it's just a ball joint. So no worries if that comes apart. It's meant to. It can do that and it's okay. Let's change out this head now, and we're going to put on the cowl. And the cowl goes on just like that. It's a rubbery plastic piece. Let me zoom out a little bit, sorry. Yeah, it holds over his back pretty good, and then you can put the mask or the Logan head on. Now, you don't have to use this cowl if you don't want, but it looks cool with it down. So there is the Logan head, or James Howlett, if you will. There's a little blue dry brushing, which I think is cool, because typically in comics, you're going to get some blue for, it's not always just pure black for the inking. They'll use some blues. Even his eyebrows look a little blue. There's his eyes. They look really good. The mouth, the tongue and teeth are painted well. Maybe a little miss right there on the edge of the teeth. But man, I'm getting a little picky here now. And then here's what it looks like in the back. Yeah. Probably not the look I'll go with, but it still is cool for changing out. If you're going to pose them on your shelf and you get tired of one look, you can always change it, or for toy photography as well. So let me change this out, and we're going to do a couple poses with his claws. All right, here's a sort of dynamic pose with using the butterfly joints, getting his arms back like he's running ahead, kind of charging ahead to gut somebody or to fight Sabretooth or Magneto or somebody. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. Really cool. I love that Berserker look. Awesome. All right, and there's that I'm the best at what I do pose. Yeah, that looks really cool. Even a simple pose like this on the shelf is really a commanding presence. That looks really good. You can turn his head more if you want. Yeah, he's got some really good articulation. Really good. Pretty awesome. All right, and here's a quick pose of Wolverine on the stand. And just FYI, when you get this stand, these screws are always loose. You got to get a little screwdriver and kind of tighten these up once you get to the pose you want the arm to be on. But yeah, I mean, you can get some dynamic poses with this guy, no problem, if you want to have him jumping through the air. Let's do some comparisons now. All right, and here is Wolverine next to a couple older figures. This is my original Marvel Secret Wars Mattel figure from like 1984. And you can see it actually looks kind of maroon. I don't know if it's always been that color and it just over time it's changed. But I got the black claw version. I remember when I was a kid going there to get them, there was a silver version and a black. And for some reason I wanted the black. I thought it was cool. And I forget which one's the variant, but yeah, there's that. And then this one's a retro line from Marvel Legends from a couple years back. But yeah, overall it's pretty cool. Let's do a couple more comparisons. All right, and here is the Mafex Wolverine next to Marvel Legends, Hasbro Marvel Legends Secret Wars Wolverine from last year, and then the Mezco Wolverine from, boy, I'd say about 6-7 years ago. My second Mezco figure I ever got. And, you know, as you notice, this is a lighter brown. And, you know, in the comic, I think actually in Secret Wars, it was closer to this color, the way they colored him, I believe. But I like this color the best. I like the darker brown better. And I didn't really notice this difference until I got these side by side. It's like wine tasting. Until you have them side by side and you taste them, you don't really sometimes notice differences. But Boy, this sure is a lot different looking. I don't like this as much now. I prefer the darker brown. But yeah, so obviously the Mezco figure is a bit taller. He's just under 6 inches, like 5 7/8. He is 5 3/4 inches, and then the Marvel one is like 5.5. So I actually think the Marvel one is probably the best size representation of Wolverine compared to other figures. But man, seeing these side by side, if I throw one of my other ones here, my Secret Wars, and then this little guy, these are all my brown suit Wolverines. I don't have the Hono Studios. They only made 1,500. They did a scalper thing there. They let scalpers take advantage, unfortunately. I'd love to have that brown variant of Hono Studios Wolverine. But this is what I got, so I'm happy to have the Mafex. Now, comparing some of the articulation, obviously the Mezco one is not going to be as articulated as the Mafex and the Hasbro. It's just not going to happen. He has good articulation, but this is an older figure, and we know articulation's gotten better through time. Even with Mezco figures, articulation's gotten better for the most part. But he does look fantastic. I absolutely love this figure still. So glad I have him. But now let's see with this. As you can see, this one's arms, he has some serious butterfly, and he can go back really far. And he has, this is the hinge joint there, so he can really hinge back. So you could really make him like he is like going, yeah, here we go. See, the head goes in a ball joint. So that is, I think the Legends articulation gives you a better look. Check that out, man. The way those butterfly joints go, I can go back even further if I want. I'm like really pushing it now. But this is kind of what you want right here to make it look like he is going at you, just like that. Now this one, it doesn't go back as far. It really doesn't. Let me try and see. The problem is that he has a ball joint here. So to bring that down and up, he doesn't go up enough in his back to strike that pose, although his head does go up pretty far. So you be the judge as to which one you think looks better. I think the Marvel Legends one actually looks better in that pose. I can't believe it. I think overall, the quality of this one's better. The paint apps are better. I like the darker brown better. But for posability, I think I have to go with the Legends. I can't believe it. Legends have gotten a lot better, I have to admit. Although the head looks a little small in this figure now. The head looks a bit small compared to this one. This is a bit smaller than this one, but overall, I think the head now looks a bit smaller on this Wolverine. What do you guys think? Or is it proportioned properly? It feels like it's a bit small. And I think he came with a Logan head sculpt. Let's see, I don't think we can interchange these. No, there's no way. The ball joint's way too big. Yeah, there's no way to interchange these with the Mafex. One thing real quick on the Mafex is that the way they do their ball joints, as you can see, it's angled back. It goes up and angles back. That allows you to get more of a better pose for getting the head back up, like he's coming down. Yeah, man, I don't know. For $25, this figure is not too shabby. And if you can't get this one, it gets sold out again. And it sucks if you don't have it. But if you can get your hands on this guy, which I think is still available, I think it does better with articulation, to be honest. All right, let's wrap this thing up. All right, at the end of the day, is this Mafex Wolverine brown version comic version worth it? Well, it's too bad that he's sold out again. I got mine from Plaza Japan. He was on Big Bad Toy Store again, I believe. And Big Bad, he was $109, which if you look at Mafex prices now, they are blowing up. Mafex is out of control. The new Punisher and Iceman are $135 each. And I know tariffs have a role to play, but Mafex has pretty much marketed themselves out of my collection. I mean, for less than $100 more, I can get a Hot Toys. They gotta be careful. But I got him from Plaza Japan, and from Plaza Japan, if you translate Japanese, yen to US dollars, he ended up being $58. This was $58. Shipping was 16 something. So he came in at like 75 bucks. 75 bucks shipped from Japan. Because this is an overseas, figure. Mafex is Asian. It's not U.S. made. Well, nothing's U.S. made when it comes to figures, right? I don't think. But if you buy them on Big Bad, you're talking like what, 30 for 35 bucks more, 40 bucks more, something like that. So I love Big Bad Toy Store, but man, for some of this import stuff like Final Fantasy figures I get and Mafex figures, I am going through Plaza Japan, Mecha Japan, whoever seems to have the best deal and the best cost in shipping. So man, I am so happy I have this Mafex Wolverine. I have a few more Mafex X-Men figures: Magneto, Storm, Rogue, Jean Grey, Phoenix. So this is going to line up nicely with that lineup. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Did you get your hands on this? Have you had this figure for a while? If so, how has your figure held up? Are the joints still strong? Are the legs getting weak? These are ball joints, so typically over time, ball joints will weaken and get loose, and that can be a trouble for figures, especially of this size. Let me know what you guys think. Give me a comment, like, subscribe. Until next time, this has been Mafex Wolverine, brown and yellow version. Thanks for watching.